Melbourne Derby number 17 at a beautiful sun-drenched AAMI Park. Melbourne Victory against Melbourne City. These two are always full of goals at derby time, and they have been very entertaining and consequential games over the journey. And in fact, for the first time ever, they drew in the derby in the first head-to-head meeting back on January the 15th at Casey Fields. It's a very different setting today at AAMI Park as part of a double-header. Melbourne Victory made 3 changes since they last played. Into the team come Paige Zoyce, Tiff Eliadis and Leah Privatelli. Maya Markovski is added to the bench, while Alana Murphy and a potential debutant in Rosie Curtis are also amongst the subs. Out of the team, Jessica Nash recovering from international duty, and Elise Kellon-Knight sadly out for the remainder of the season with an Achilles. Melbourne City, by contrast, no changes to the starting 11 that was successful away to Newcastle last Saturday. They did only travel with 4 players on the bench though, so they've added Naomi Chinema to the substitutes as she continues her recovery from a hamstring injury. Let's wait and see if she is fit enough to go today. Jeff Hopkins, his thoughts are very much on locking down 4th. However, if they were to win today, Melbourne Victory, they'd be back within 2 points of Melbourne City in 3rd. Of course, 3rd plays 4th in the elimination final at the end of the season. 2nd place gets that double chance and the opportunity to take on 1st. Isabella Blais is today's referee. Emma Konsbeck on the right of your picture, and the 4th official, Shabro Shan, there on the left. And the other assistant referee is Jasmine Steger. Dario Vidizic, the Melbourne City coach, presiding over the most ball-dominant team in the league. They average 62% possession per game, and that is well ahead of the second-placed team, which is, funnily enough, Melbourne Victory at 54%. So both these teams will want the ball today. Melbourne City might want it that little bit more. And there's young Paige Zoyce, one of the inclusions today, with the absence of Alana Murphy from the starting 11, still coming back from Kyrgyzstan and the young Matildas. So it's Melbourne Victory to attack the left of your screens in this first half at AAMI Park. And derby number 17 is underway. A Victory win today, they square the ledger at 8 wins apiece. Melbourne City were initially the dominant team in the derby, but it's closed up very much so over the years. We see Tiff Eliadis battling for possession here and passing it off to Beattie Goad, who again is a player that has won championships with both Victory and City, having represented both teams in Melbourne until, of course, Western United made it a trifecta this season. Early throw for Victory here. Zoyce coming up to hurl the ball in. Down the line to Catherine Zimmerman, the American. Ball knocked away. We see Hannah Wilkinson trying to take possession. Scored the equal record number of goals in a game here at AAMI Park last season in the corresponding fixture, which was a 5-1 win for Melbourne City. Since then, though, Melbourne Victory got the last laugh. They won here 3-1 in the finals, in the preliminary final, to go through to the grand final, which, of course, they would then win. Not a surprise to see these two teams once again meeting at the pointy end of the table, as Letitia McKenna is dispossessed. And now Eliadis playing the ball out to Leah Privatelli on the right, and Privatelli's quick. She's able to keep the ball in as it rolled along the paint of the line, and the cross into the penalty area is cleared away by Katie Bowen. And the referee's whistle goes. It was a tight call over on the outer side there. Privatelli quick enough to keep the ball in. Holly McNamara already speaking to the referee about potential grab of the shirt. She'll get close attention today, McNamara. Such a live wire, so dangerous. And now Victory into some breathing space after really feeling the City press for the first time in the game. And the counter-attack is on. Catherine Zimmerman through the right. Ayres waits in the middle. And the cross is blocked by McKenna. And Letitia McKenna applying herself and waiting for Grosso to come and make it a numbers game in City's favour. However, a kind deflection. And it's going to be a corner kick. Here's another look at the good one-on-one defending initially from McKenna, but just a bit of bad luck for Melbourne City that as Grosso went in to win the ball away, it caught her last on the way out. City have a slight height advantage, but Victory have got some great jumpers. Eliadis is one of them. Goalkeeper Sally James leads with the hand, and the follow-up from Jackson is blocked. It went right into traffic. Couple of half-hearted shouts for a handball, but now City can counter. And the whistle goes. Advantage was about to be given. And the referee points to Claudia Bunge and gives the first yellow card of the game. And it's come early for the Victory central defender. Goad's corner here. James got up with the fist, and Amy Jackson, well, Hannah Wilkinson, hard player to get past, and was able to make the block. Really vociferous shouts for handball, not given. Play continues. Tatham past Policina, but not past Henry, who backtracks down to the line. And now Briley Henry goes to ground. Tatham wins the ball back for Victory. And headed away by Bowen. Here's Ayres, volley right into the back of Checker. Handball, penalty. And Emma Checker protests. Isabella Blais reaches for the pocket and will give a card as well. And Emma Checker perhaps pleading Isabella Blais to go and speak to the assistant referee. But it looks like the decision's been made and Melbourne Victory are going to the penalty spot. Here's another look at the replay. Ayres loaded up for the strike. It's hit the elbow of Emma Checker. Checker is protesting that the arm was against the body. Oh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It doesn't look like it's in the most unnatural position. If it hadn't hit the elbow, I'm almost certain it's hitting Emma Checker's body regardless. Melina Ayres will take the penalty. Sally James. Fingertips against the crossbar. Ayres' penalty is into the bottom left corner. And Melina Ayres, who loves this derby so much, has another goal to her name. And on a day where Melbourne Victory know they can take a big stride towards the top four and defending their championship, they strike first. Here's the penalty. Sally James took a big step to her left. Melina Ayres went to her left and had an empty net to roll it into. Well dispatched, and it's Melbourne Victory 1, Melbourne City 0. Ball spills kindly for Zeus. Goes for the sweeping crossfield pass. Torpy, first touch, took it back towards the goal she's defending, and then is able to blaze away with Beattie Goad in the vicinity. Caitlin Torpy's been under the pump as Victory have hugged their left side in attacking. That crossfield pass there, defended with some composure. Second corner of the game for Victory. You see there's lots of byplay on the goal line. Sally James is not the tallest keeper. Goad, out-swinging corner. Falls to Ayres. Tees up Zeus. Zeus! Paige Zeus with a rocket! And on the big stage, on the big occasion, Melbourne Victory, as we have come to know them, they step up when the stakes are at their highest, and now it's the 19-year-old Paige Zeus. Melbourne City have a huddle, starting to resemble last year's preliminary final this game. Ayres had the awareness of Zeus, and Paige Zeus, she has done that all the way through her junior career. She's done it regularly in the NPL at state league level. Now she is replicating it in the Liberty A-League. And it's so exciting to watch the journey of a player with so much talent and so much joy show what she can do. Eliadis heading the wrong way as far as Victory are concerned. Straight to Cote Rojas. And now Wilkinson. Kiwi versus Kiwi. Wilkinson takes on Bunge and misses McNamara with the square pass. Well, City were in. It was a great piece of skill there from Hannah Wilkinson to set up the opportunity. Cote Rojas wants to double down. And now Policina in space, blocked away by Morrison. Perhaps it needed a first-time shot. Morrison there in the nick of time now. Grosso fires. Yet to score a goal this season, Julia Grosso. And that was the closest that she's come in some weeks. Here's another look. This was really clever from Wilkinson. And Claudia Bunge at every New Zealand camp would have defended against Hannah Wilkinson, and yet there's always something new and something unexpected. And then the American Grosso on her right side, no less. Very two-footed player. Here's the ball into the box for Cote. Dumont saves. Well, City are piling forward now. And after all the blocks and all the near misses, they still have Casey Dumont to deal with. And even though it's 2-0, you feel like there are plenty of goals on the way. McNamara with the vision and the pass, and Cote put it either side of Casey Dumont, and it's probably 2-1. City currently operating in their defensive half. They want to halve the deficit before the break. Send a message that this game can still swing at a moment's notice. Zoyce, the back pass. Dumont's clearance taken by McNamara. And now Cote Rojas cuts it inside. Briley Henry waiting on the ball. Henry frees the feet and shoots. And it was enough time for Bunge to get in the right position to block it away. And not for a lack of sighters here, Melbourne City. They're getting chances. Here Jeff Hopkins shouting, clear the box. He wants his defensive line a bit higher as McKenna puts another shot in, but that one was slow moving. And Casey Dumont able to get the body behind it. Letitia McKenna has 2 goals this season. Both of them very well taken, both of them from outside the area. You see there on the left foot this time, just not able to get the power behind it. They want one last look at the goal before the break. Henry knocks it on. Wilkinson away from Bunge. Cote is waiting at the back post unmarked, but there wasn't enough elevation on the cross. Well, they had the chance there, Melbourne City, but Hannah Wilkinson at the end of a tiring run, not able to lift the ball to the far post where Cote Rojas was waiting without a defender in sight. Now Grosso has defending to do. McNamara. Ball bending towards Cote, but it's the hero of the first half, Paige Zoyce. She's kept Cote quiet enough and scored a magnificent goal of her own. And that's been the story of the first 45, along with a very contentious penalty decision. And when Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City fans get involved, you know it's going to be a pretty partisan discussion. McNamara able to find her feet. McNamara lifts a shot, and Dumont is able to hold on to the ball and has the final say at the end of what has been an entertaining first half in the Liberty A-League. You'd expect nothing less given how high the stakes are. And Paige Zoyce followed Melina Ayres' penalty with Melbourne Victory's 2 goals in quick succession, which is the difference between the sides at half-time. It's Melbourne Victory 2, Melbourne City 0. Let's look at that. Beattie Goad actually said to us on Dub Zone during the season that she's starting to embrace being one of the older players in the team and having a bit more of a leadership role. She was previously playing in Spain, where the average age of the team she was in was 28. Goad herself is only 25. So when you come back to the Liberty A-League in Australia, 25 makes you a veteran. And she's the one that was charged with giving one last rev up before the second half of this Melbourne derby gets underway. Is there a City comeback in the offing? Cote Rojas wants to change the situation from kickoff, but that will run long for a goal kick. I can tell you that if Victory were to win 4-0 today, or by 4 clear goals, then not only would these teams be locked up on 8 wins apiece, they'd also be locked up on the same number of derby goals. A real can't split 'em situation. Rojas bending ball in, Wilkinson's there, Dumont. And even though there's contact with the shin, it's just a corner. Goalkeeping from Dumont. It barely had to wait 30 seconds of the restart before being called right back into action. Rojas's pass had just enough backspin on it to hold up, and Casey Dumont able to block that attempt from Wilkinson away. Bowen is there. Grosso. Polisena holds off Beatty Goad. Polisena, edge of the box, steers it to McKenna, and Dumont is down, it's parried. McNamara saved again by Dumont, and Casey Dumont has started the second half with a flurry of saves. Holly McNamara so close to a goal. And Melbourne City could have had their avenue back into the game instantly as we look here picture in picture at the initial save from the shot from McKenna, and then McNamara. It was a Mac attack and Casey Dumont was able to stave them both off. And now a free kick will keep Melbourne Victory trapped deep in defence. Casey Dumont is keeping the cap on, perhaps reflecting that it's difficult as the shadows creep across the ground at both ends of AAMI Park. There's the foul from Amy Jackson on Letitia McKenna. This is surely too far even for the most explosive of super boots. McKenna says, I'll try anyway, and Casey Dumont does not let a rebound spill out of her grasp. So McKenna's had a couple of shots on target now, but hasn't really been able to move Casey Dumont with either of them. Rihanna Polisena plays the through ball. Is it going to hold up on the surface? It does, and Holly McNamara went sliding after it, but couldn't twist the body quite right in order to keep the ball in. Privatelli got the better of Bowen, who then recovered and won the ball back for City's cause. Oh, McKenna, a giveaway. Maybe heard the shout and just miss-hit the pass. Melina Ayres taking over. Now Beatty Goad is flooding forward. It's Beatty Goad just over the bar. And that would have been absolute self-destruction there from Melbourne City had that ended up in the back of the net. The giveaway of possession so costly. And Ayres and Goad linking up, and Beatty Goad not far away from sneaking that under the crossbar. Goad with the one goal so far this season. McKenna. Now Torpy. Up the middle for Wilkinson. Polisena. McNamara. Has dusted herself off and is moving all right. Underhits the pass for Polisena to McNamara. Blocked off the boot by Jackson, and now McKenna! Oh, chances are plenty for Melbourne City. And Letitia McKenna, the eyes lit up, but the shot did not stay down. And was going to ground, sliding into that shot. McNamara blocked initially, but heard the shout from McKenna. And Letitia McKenna sent it sky high. Jackson heard the shout from Tatham. Out on the left, Briley Henry is going to try and chase her down. Tatham hurried into the pass, straight to Torpy. Now Henry is there to McKenna. Given away by Bowen. Privatelli, legged by Polisena. Yellow card straight out of the pocket. Rihanna Polisena is booked for the foul on Leah Privatelli. And I just mentioned that the concentration from both teams was starting to lapse. And again, a senior veteran international like Katie Bowen mishitting that pass straight to Leah Privatelli. These are the little errors that are creeping into the game from both teams. And now it's Melbourne Victory who get a chance to capitalise with this free kick. Sally James is going to have to be sure-handed here. There's a whole line of Victory players waiting for a parry, waiting for a spill, maybe waiting for a header on goal. Goad drifts it into the mixer, volleyed up by McNamara. Bunge, back to McNamara again. Jackson's headed down, and Ayres concedes ground. Tatham goes all the way back to Casey Dumont. Flick header on. And the flag is up for offside against Beatty Goat. Very high defensive line from Melbourne City. Good to see Jeff Hopkins resuming his dynamic with Emma Kotzbeck, the referee who returned serve on him in A-League's All Access. 10 minutes of regulation to go. Chenema and now Malone. The subs linking up. A new energy to Melbourne City, but can they turn it into a cutting edge? And Katie Bowen, I'm not sure what she had for breakfast this morning, but I reckon she'll never eat it again, because some of the touches, some of the passes, some of the breaks in concentration have been completely uncharacteristic from the 28-year-old. 80 international caps, World Cups, Olympic Games, and it just hasn't quite been there for her today. Foul in midfield, advantage given. City want to take the ball and run. Kote with it all to do, though, up against Eliadis, and loses out. Wasn't much of an advantage. Kote couldn't capitalise. Torpy is back up after the initial foul. Tatham. Torpy getting over to defend. Goad. Tatham puts the head down, chases the ball. Given away by Checker. It's starting to look like Victory's day. Melbourne City laid siege to the Victory goal in the first 15 minutes of the second half, but ever since it's been a bit more balanced. And now Melbourne Victory want a third to sweeten the deal. Beatty Goad weaves into the box, cuts it back. Zimmerman couldn't control the ball. And that would have been the third. And game over. The ball hits the referee. It'll be a drop ball. And Beatty Goad with that very distinct running gait, able to just weave, slalom into the box around the defenders. And Zimmerman at the key moment not able to bring it under her control. The nod. So Ava Breedis comes on for appearance number 8 of the campaign, and Catherine Zimmerman comes off. Markovski in a wrestle with Chinema. We've gone almost a minute beyond the original allocated 5, but let's not forget there were a few subs in stoppage time, a few time wasters at the end of the afternoon. An afternoon where Melbourne Victory will have squared away the derby at 8 wins apiece. And derby number 17 has gone their way in a big way. It's been a big down payment on their spot in the top 4, and on a weekend where the chasing pack all slipped up, Melbourne Victory have got the job done here. Last rights of this one. Can City grab a consolation? Checker. Only as far as Bunge. Now Accardo. Can't squeeze it underneath to Wilkinson. And the final whistle goes. And the champions of the Liberty A-League have reminded all and sundry what they are like on the big stage. It was Paige Zeus's day. Assigned to right back to mark Holly McNamara. She ended up scoring a worldie. And that second goal closed out our full-time score of Melbourne Victory 2, Melbourne City 0.